From Royal Communications Incorporated, good evening and welcome to King's News Broom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Today is Monday, July 21, 2025, and I'm Shemon Dia presenting. In the headlines, former presidential sparring Gets to Wolokoli calls for immediate dismissal of police RG Gregory Coleman, says he is criminally using a badge that belongs to generals who served the U.S. military. University of Liberia Faculty Association issues 30-day ultimatum on government and university authorities for long-standing salary arrears and pay retroactive benefits in poor working condition. And also in the news tonight, government of Liberia launches national passport decentralization initiative in Bonk and Grangida counties. Away from home, permanent Kenyan activist Boniface Wangi has been charged with illegal possession of ammunition linked to a protest last month in which at least 19 people were killed. The Israeli military has killed at least 67 people waiting for UN Lodge in northern Gaza, the territory's Hamas-run health ministry says. This plus a news bulletin, voices of those making the news at our package. We'll take a short break to be right back. Welcome back at this juncture. We join Stephen Compton with the news bulletin.
The 2023 former presidential aspiring Mengistu Wodokodi is calling for the immediate dismissal of Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman due to what he termed as the lack of integrity and good character. Wodokodi accused the police boss of acting a fraud, adding that there is a need that President Joseph Boyka takes swift action to dismiss him in the spirit of transparency, integrity, and accountability. According to him, there are badges currently used on the uniform of the RG which belong to generals who have served the United States military, stating that these ribbons can be earned and not given. The former presidential aspirant further claimed that the police boss is using the badges that he does not deserve, emphasizing that he has never served the U.S. Army to carry such badges. He named the assertion that made the assertion on Monday in an interview with DA News and other media institutions. State Brown University Faculty Association has issued a 30-day ultimatum through the national government and the university administration calling for urgent adherence to their long-standing salary arrears. According to OFA, the 30-day outline followed a General Assembly held Friday, July 18 at the University of Liberia's Capitol Hill campus, where members expressed their frustration over what they called persistent neglect by both the government and the university's authority. They pointed out that the immediate resolution issues, including salary disparity, unpaid benefit, and faculty welfare, offered President Dr. Edmund John outlined poor working condition, adding that it continued to plug the faculty. She indicated unsafe facility, inadequate office space, and absence of essential teaching resources, pointing out repeated unfulfilled commitment outlined in multiple resolutions dating as far back as June 2024 and a 2021 Memorandum of Understanding, all of which remain largely unaddressed. Dr. Jordan said although Alpha has had several meetings with UL President Dr. Lely Mapaya in an effort to resolve the challenges affecting faculty members, later nothing is done to address their concerns. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has officially launched the National Passport Decentralization Initiative in Bong and Grangida counties. The government has described the initiative as part of its broader effort to ease the burden of accessing passport services for residents in these regions. Speaking at the launching and commissioning ceremony in Bangabong County, President Joseph Boakai underscored the importance of the decentralization process. According to the Liberian leader, the initiative is a meaningful strive toward ensuring better public service delivery to citizens in rural Liberia. The Liberian leader also emphasized that a new initiative will significantly reduce the difficulties many Liberians face in obtaining essential travel documents, particularly those living outside of Monrovia. He added that the decentralizing passport services aligns with his administration's commitment to inclusive governance and improved accessibility to basic government services. The president also disclosed his government, among other things, is working on plans to extend similar initiatives to other counties across Liberia. House of Representatives Committee on Ways, Means Finance has announced the reshuffling of its expenditure hearing to follow the conclusion of the second quarter break due to the ongoing formulation of the fiscal year 2024 national budget. The House's Bureau of Press and Public Affairs noted that the Ministry of Finance is currently engaging with several government spending entities as part of its effort in preparing the budget, adding that the expenditure hearing originally slated for this period will now serve as a midterm review in line with requirements under the Liberia's Public Financial Management Law. According to the Bureau, the disclosure was made Monday by Representative Dowan Glickard, acting chairperson of the Committee on Ways, Means, and Finance, following discussion with the committee chair, Representative P. Mark Jury. Meanwhile, the acting committee has instructed the Legislative Budget Office to produce a detailed list of all entities currently collecting government revenue but failing to remit funds to their consolidated revenue account. The House of Representatives Press and Public Affairs Bureau described the move as a push to strengthen fiscal transparency and accountability in public financial operations. The rescheduled hearing are expected to intensify legislative scrutiny around spending efficiency and revenue compliance as Liberia moves towards a more responsive and reform-driven budget cycle. The National Election Commission has released its final list of candidates for the upcoming 2025 Nimba County District 5 representative by-election. NEC published final list for the by-election indicates a total of 10 candidates, including 9 males and 1 female, with 7 political parties and 3 independent. Former ruling Party CDC and the ruling Unity Party are not featuring candidates in the upcoming by-election in Nimba County District 5. Political parties featuring candidates include Liberia Transformation Party, Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction, Vision for Liberia Transformation, Liberia National Union, Liberia People Democratic Party, Liberia Rebuilding Party, and National Democratic Coalition. The 2025 Nimba County District 5 by-election slated for August 12 was created following the election of Senator Samuel Koga in April of this year. Ministry of Finance Minister Augustine Gafwan has called for a national awakening in digital innovation, declaring that Liberia must dream big or risk being left further behind in the global technology race. Speaking at the Technology Summit 2025 gathering of peacemaker, development partners, and private sector players, Minister Gafwan acknowledged the country's digital gap, admitting that the country is already behind in the technology race of the world. While the address was warmly received, analysts say the minister's visionary rhetoric must now be matched by tangible results, a demand that continues to echo across Liberia's underperforming digital infrastructure landscape. Gafwan emphasized the urgent of digitalizing government services, reducing code process time, and boosting revenue collection through technology. He highlighted a 30 million World Bank backed project as a cornerstone of Liberia's digital transformation agenda, which aimed to support key ministries in screen streaming system and improving transparency. According to him, faster to producing lead to quick revenue collection, which he said will allow the government to do more for its people. Gafwan admitted to past failed in system implementation, stating that the country must put robust system in place. He had ever announced that the early stages of 2026 national budget planning process, adding that the Ministry of Finance will work with digital agencies, including the Liberia Telecommunications Authority and the Ministry of Post and Telecommunications, to align spending with technology transformation goals. The University of Liberia has refuted claims suggesting that its current vacation school program is being treated as a regular academic semester. During a recent protest in Monrovia, members of the Student Unification Party at the University of Liberia alleged that the university, through the president, declared the ongoing vacation school as a regular semester, thus raising serious concern within the student community. Meanwhile, in response to the claim, the university, through a press release issue, clarified that the vacation school is not a regular semester, but rather a special academic initiative designed to assist students nearing graduation. The university further that the initiative is also part of effort to make up with lost time for students who have experienced disruption in 2024, among other things. The university, through the release, announced that the regular semester for academic 2025-2026 year will commence on August 25, which, according to the university, will enhance and availability of courses to a broader group of students. Stay with more developments. A civil society group, She Matters Liberia project director Yancey Wesley has challenged the parents to exert tireless effort in supporting their children's education to ensure that every child has a brighter future. Serving as a guest speaker at the eighth closing and graduation ceremony of NARICALT in Monrovia, Wesley, who is also the current coordinator of the Liberia National Academic Award, emphasized the importance of education for nation building. He noted that every parent must see education as their first and foremost responsibility for their children. The She Matters Liberia project director at the same time assured the administration of the entity of a commitment to underwrite the cost of the school's ongoing project, including latrine and other sanitation for the well-being of the students. However, the valedictorian Ezekiel Gay encouraged his fellow students to remain focused in their learning process and adhere to discipline. A 20, that's 12-year-old student has joined the national campaign led by the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection to end child labor in Liberia, delivering the valedictorian address at the 10th graduation ceremony of the Pinsville Seventh Day Advantage Elementary School over the weekend. Komansa Kawi appealed for the protection of children's rights and prioritizing of education. She discouraged the art of children playing the role of breadwinner, urged parents and society alike to protect the future of Liberia's children. Command condemned the harsh reality faced by many children across the country, describing their condition as both unfair and dangerous. According to her, child labor remains a serious concern in Liberia, with many children engaged in street selling, domestic work, or assisting visually impaired individuals in public places to help support their families. She noted that the act using children as breadwinners for the family often put children in unsafe environment and deprive them of their right to quality education. She expressed the gratitude to her teachers, family, and school administrators for their continuing guidance, encouragement, and sacrifices. And the leadership of the National Association of Primary Waste Community-Based Enterprise says it is committed to reform and at transforming the country infrastructure and underperforming waste sector. Speaking with reporters over the weekend, the newly elected President Austin Peay pointed out unity, professionalism, and innovation as a component of addressing several things across the country. According to him, the new leadership ambition agenda is not to professionalize the industry, but to enhance citywide sanitation and build a profitable, inclusive system. The news bulletin is back to you, Sharon.
The news bulletin with Stephen Compton is a regular feature on King's News Boom. A reminder you're listening to King's News Boom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Stories we following tonight. Former presidential aspirant Mengestu Wolokoli calls for immediate dismissal of police RG Gregory Coleman, says he is criminally using a badge that belongs to generals who served the U.S. military. University of Liberia Faculty Association issues 30-day ultimatum on government and university authorities for long-standing salary arrears and pay retroactive benefits and poor working conditions. Government of Liberia launches national passport decentralization initiative in Bong and Grangeda counties. Away from home, permanent Kenyan activist Boniface Wangi has been charged with illegal possession of ammunition linked to protest last month in which at least 19 people were killed. The Israeli military has killed at least 67 people, waiting for UN aid laureates in northern Gaza, the territories Hamas run health ministry says. We take a break to be back with voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for being there. A 2023 former presidential aspirant Mengistu Wolokoli is calling for immediate dismissal of Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman due to what he termed as lack of integrity and good character. Wolokoli accused the police boss of being a fraud, adding that there's a need that President Joseph Boakai takes swift action to dismiss him in a spirit of transparency, integrity, and accountability. We'll bring you the accepting our subsequent newscast. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has officially launched the National Passport Decentralization Initiative in Bong and Grangida counties. The government has described the initiative as part of its broader effort to ease the burden of accessing passport services for residents in these regions. Speaking at the launching and commissioning ceremony in Bangabong County, President Joseph Boakai underscored the importance of the decentralization process.
You all work hard for us to be here. And we promise you, we are going to make our country better. Not that we were going to do it as individuals, but a number of people in turn to positions, initiated the team to make sure that they serve the people of this country. This is the time that we want to make sure that we serve the people of this country. You know, some of the age of the so that I want to see the dividend that is age of people. And that dividend make sure this country is truly decentralized in terms of function, in terms of benefit, and we do the hardship, and that's what we're here for. This is just the beginning. As you heard, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is ready right now doing the same thing. So today, we take major steps toward justice and fairness in public service delivery. The step that will change lives, reduce suffering, and bring the government of Nigeria closer to the people. People granted. People can go and work there, they go and do these things. But we know that people go through. Just got to pay a rent to go, but to move country to stay and the hardship experience when you go for this service. For far too long, ordinary Liberians, especially our market women, farmers, students, and small business owners, have been very burden and themselves burden just to accept one of their most basic rights, the right of identity. Across this country, too many people tried to leave their farms, their classrooms, their shops. Sometimes, sometimes your parents say, "Now we want to see you, we want for you to come," just to travel to Monrovia, have a passport.
President Joseph Boakai, they're speaking. Minister of Finance Augustine Gaffan has called for a national awakening in digital innovation, declaring that Liberia must dream big or risk being left further behind in the global technology race. Speaking at the Technology Summit 2025 gathering of policymakers, development partners, and private sector players, Minister Gaffan acknowledged the country's digital gap, admitting that the country is already behind in the technology race of the world.
I come here very happy that you've convened this summit because it is often said that if you don't innovate, you will evaporate. And we cannot fight today's battles with yesterday's weapons. We, as a country, we know that we are already behind in the technology race. We cannot afford and we cannot be comfortable to be behind. We have to leapfrog. We have to sprint as we try to deal with foundational issues. People are talking AI. Sometimes it appears like we're perpetually be behind, but we need to start to dream big dreams. Think big and act big. We know our circumstances are challenging, but we cannot start thinking big. That's the beginning. We need to conceive big things for this country. It's good that I see some folks Liberians, private sector innovators, I see Zama here, thinking, contriving, implementing big things. And sometimes it appears like you're crazy in this environment when you think big. We need to, because it is the thing that will make us to jump fast. We are in the technology age. Some of the challenges we face as a government can only be solved through technology. One of our key measures to deal with some of the shocks that we face this year, the airport and what have you, is to employ or deploy technology in revenue mobilization. And the NRA is rolling out. We just this year launched our great project with the World Bank. It's a $30 million project to improve government accountability and transformation. But it is meant to support key ministries and agencies to digitize processes. We at the Ministry of Finance are digitizing.
His Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine P. Kafuan. A civil society group, She Matters Liberia Project Director Yassa Wesley has challenged parents to exert tireless efforts in supporting their children's education to ensure that every child have a brighter future. Serving as a guest speaker at the 8th closing the graduation ceremony of Narika in Monrovia, Wesley, who is also the current coordinator of the Liberia National Academic Award, emphasized the importance of education for nation building. She noted that every parent must see education as their first and foremost responsibility for a child.
Why it's true that educational journey is rocky, and Liberia has not done much as it relates to our educational system, and to improve on the facilities or the contribution to be given to schools and students who take their time, who take the discipline from our schools to get educated. It's true, there are lots of difficulties it takes to learn book. But I want you students to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. When you shall have endured all of the tough times, denying yourself of social media when you enter senior high, all of the pleasurable moments, which include the alcohol consumption, studying on phone lights when there's no electricity, accepting the discipline from both your parents and the school, knowing that the future is prepared for prepared people. Tomorrow, you are going to be very proud of yourself. Society is going to be proud of you, and you can make the best out of what you do. When we talk about beauty of education, and education is the process of acquiring knowledge, the skills, the values, and the habits through learning, whether formal or informal. The beauty of education is a transformative power, the enriching individuals and societies alike. The critical thinking, the problem solving skills, and a lifelong learning, while also building economic stability in your country. The beauty of education is the part that defines you.
However, the valedictorian Ezekiel Kane encouraged his fellow students to remain focused in their learning process and adhered to discipline.
Please continue to use your mind to patriotically serve yourself, serve your family, serve your friends, your country, Mama Liberia, and serve humanity at large. In the same faith, I would similarly like to briefly speak to all of you on the topic. Use your mind to correctly build a good mentality. For good mentality helps you to build a good and solid foundation. Good mentality also helps you to serve your family, your teachers, your friends, including your country with patriotism. For this single attribute of good mentality have been adopted in the teachings of the Holy Bible. A good example is Matthew 5, verse 8, which says, "Blessed are they that are pure in heart, for they shall see God." Good mentality is also recorded in the Holy Quran, including the manners of our military armed forces of Liberia bearing the force there to defend. As student Ezekiel Tebige, I have fought a good fight using my mind to build a good mentality to serve my parents, my school, my community, and my country with a high level of patriotism. For this is the reason why I'm now standing before you as the proud valedictorian. And because I serve with good mentality, I too deserve to be served with good mentality. If we always serve God faithfully with good mentality and serve others as we deserve to be served, Liberia will become a country of servants, not masters or ruled with proud, greed, corruption, and other selfish intentions.
Everyone, you listen to King's News Boom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa in our one word. Stories we following tonight. Former presidential aspirant Mengistu Wolokoli calls for immediate dismissal of police RG Gregory Coleman says he is criminally using a badge that belongs to generals who served the U.S. military. University of Liberia Faculty Association issues stated the ultimatum government and UAL authorities for long-standing salary arrears, unpaid retroactive benefits, and poor working conditions. Government of Liberia launches National Passport Decentralization Initiative in Bonk and Grangida counties. Away from home, prominent Ken activist Boniface Wangi has been charged with illegal possession of ammunition into a protest last month in which at least 19 people were killed. The Israeli military has killed at least 67 people waiting for UN aid lawyers in northern Gaza. The territory's Hamas run health ministry says. We'll take a break to be back with more voices. Welcome back and thanks for being there. China's ambassador to Liberia, Yin Qingwen, has underscored China's commitment to strengthen scientific and technological cooperation with Liberia. Speaking at the 2025 Technology Summit in Congo Town, Ambassador Qingwen described technology as key engine for human development and global challenges. He highlighted the transformative role of digital technology and pledged China's support for Liberia's digital aspiration. We sincerely apologize for that. A 12-year-old student has joined the national campaign led by the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection to end child labor in Liberia, delivering the choice at the 10th graduation ceremony of the Pinzil's 7th day Adventist Elementary School. Commonsa Kawi appealed for the protection of children's rights and the prioritization of education over exploitation. She encouraged the art of children playing, or discouraged the art of children playing the role of breadwinners, urging parents and society at large to protect the future of Liberian children. Music playing on another thing.
Yeah, but there's something on again. They can pick up right thing. Anything another one will come inside. Leave it sunny. Okay, my picture.
Where are children going to work? Children work to earn money, to buy food or pay for groceries. But this is not fair or right. No child should be forced to work. No child should have to grow up too soon, carry heavy burdens like selling industries, posting the prosecution, or miss out on their education and childhood. When children work, they are facing many dangers. They might work in places with harmful chemicals, interact with dangerous people, or still in streets filled with harmful people and traffic. Their child can suffer, and they might get injured or sick. Also, their mental and emotional well-being is affected. They miss out on money and the chance to dream big like other kids. Child has the right to go to school and learn. No child should be forced into child labor or be denied of this right.
War encountered massive crowds of hungry civilians, which came under gunfire soon after it crossed from Israel and cleared checkpoints. The Israel Defense Force said that it had fired warning shots to remove an immediate threat. It disputed the number of reported deaths. On Saturday, the military warned that extreme hunger was increasing in Gaza and growing numbers of people were arriving at its facilities in state of extreme exhaustion and fatigue. Well, on that note, that's how we come to a near end of this edition of King's Newsroom. But before we leave, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. Former presidential aspirant Majesty Wolo Colley calls for immediate dismissal of police RJ Gregory Coleman, says he is criminally using a badge that belongs to generals who served the U.S. military. University of Liberia Faculty Association issues 30-day ultimatum on government and UAL authorities for long-standing salary arrears, unpaid retroactive benefits, and poor working conditions. You also heard in the news, government of Liberia launches national passport decentralization initiative in Bonk and Grand Jida counties. And away from home, permanent Kenyan activist Boniface Wangi has been charged with illegal possession of ammunition linked to protest last month, in which at least 19 people were killed. The Israeli military has killed at least 67 people waiting for UN aid lorries in northern Gaza. The territory's Hamas run health ministry says, and thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped in making this edition of King's Newsroom a success. Stephen Compton brought you the news bulletin. Sam Andrews sat at control and handled the technical aspect of this edition. On behalf of the team, I'm Shemon Dale. I presented. Thanks for listening and watching.